When it comes to vertical axis wind turbines, you typically have two choices. Drag turbines utilise the push of the wind to generate rotation, and have high torque at the cost of low speed caused by air resistance. Lift turbines are the opposite. The airfoil shape of their blades means that they can cut through the air and take advantage of lift forces at high speed. Theoretically, this means they are the better of the two in terms of absolute power output, but that comes with a big catch. They struggle immensely with self-starting, often requiring a starter motor just to get going. But what if we could have the best of both worlds? Well, we can. Kind of. And I'll explain exactly what I mean by that in this episode, so let's get stuck in. Let's begin with the obvious. There's nothing preventing you from designing a turbine that incorporates both drag and lift elements, and in fact, many already have. Sitting on my bench is one such example. It's a design from Thingiverse by the author EvDave. Credit to them. The design features 4 airfoil blades on the outside that are twisted into a helix. These curve out from the bottom and converge once again at the top of the rotor. This somewhat mirrors Darius's original egg beater design, and it reduces vibration compared to blades that are completely plumb with the diameter of the turbine. At the centre of the rotor, close to the shaft, is the drag section. This takes the form of a Ugrinsky type design, which is once again twisted into a helix, and the blades are twisted so that this section can receive wind from any direction with as little air resistance as possible on the opposing side. When combined, these two geometries complement each other, at least in theory, to somewhat cover for each's drawbacks. The slender drag section at the centre should in theory provide the starting torque necessary to overcome the friction of the generator rotor without getting in the way too much, while the lift section at the outer edge of the turbine should be responsible for capturing most of the energy from wind. This isn't the only form these hybrids can take though. There are other types of designs. For example, I found this design by what are these usernames, man? Anyway, this design instead features drag and lift sections that can be stacked modularly. I see merit in this in that you can adjust the ratio of drag to lift sections to fit your needs. However, the flaw I find here is that having the drag and lift sections being the same diameter might create a lot of air resistance that harms the efficiency of the rotor as a whole. Ideally, you want just enough drag force to get the turbine spinning to just enough speed where lift forces start to take over. The rationale behind EvDave's design, although I suppose this could be modified and optimized. Okay, so to preface, I am testing this with my fan, which is great for cooling me down, but it sucks as a test rig for wind turbines as it only outputs airflow at 4 meters per second on its highest setting. Because it's currently summer here, there is very little wind at all outside, so this fan is also my only option. We should still be able to characterize this turbine though, even if we can't get it to high speeds. Unfortunately, I couldn't get this turbine to reliably self-start, due to the low airspeed. However, with a bit of encouragement, it does indeed spin up on its own and maintains its momentum. This is a crucial advantage over a pure lift rotor, like from my last video, which I needed to spin up quite a bit before it stabilised, and even then, it gradually slowed down. Though, the hybrid did only manage to spin up my generator to a speed where it only produced about a volt. I think this was due to a combination of factors, namely the lack of swept area in general and the small amount of parasitic drag caused by the internal drag section. Although, if I'm being honest, I think this has more to do with the small size of the turbine not generating much torque in the first place. The lift section is basically dead weight at these low speeds. Overall, I think these hybrids are an interesting design that offers a good balance between torque and maximum power, and I think a design like what I've tested would work much more efficiently at a larger scale. The next thing I want to do when it comes to turbine geometries is to play around with aspect ratios to try and see if I can optimize wind capture from these VAWTs. For now though, that's all from me. If you like what you see, give a like, sub, and turn on notifications. Let me hear your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll catch you all soon.